Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Sanskruti Tahakik. I'm Associate Professor at Sanjeti Institute of Orthopaedic Rehabilitation, Institute of Physiotherapy. Today we are going to learn about comprehensive geriatric assessment. It is about comprehensive geriatric assessment, optimizing health for older adults, a holistic person-centered approach to understanding and caring for our aging population. So this is our today's topic. So why we are studying this topic is because what is happening in India that we will see. India is entering a demographic shift according to the census 2020. 11, India has close to 100 million people above the age of 60, and this number is expected to cross over 300 million by 2050. That's more than double the current population of elderly individuals. So, this rising population of the senior citizens needs a care which is skilled and expert care. So, longevity is not the real goal. There is no fun in a long life if you are not healthy enough to enjoy it. The real goal is to live without a dependence. Instead of adding days of life, add life to your days. So, why this matters? Why we want to go for this rehabilitation or assessment, anything? While our life expectancy might have increased due to the advancement in medical science, so we are living long life, but not the healthier life. So, for this, we will be learning components, domains that come under comprehensive geriatric assessment. So, comprehensive geriatric assessment is a multidisciplinary process where the information captured is used as basis to plan care and treatment. It includes short-term and long-term goals for follow-up and rehabilitative services. So, as we can see, that is a multi-level process, or multiple experts are involved in the comprehensive geriatric care or elderly care. So there should be cardiovascular risk assessment, there should be nutritional assessment, there should be mental health assessment, non-communicable diseases management, oral assessment, and ophthalmic assessments. So all the systems of the body should be assessed for the care of the geriatric patients. So here there are sections for the geriatric assessment. This is very basic section, section B3 of the geriatric assessment. So here what we have questions to be asked to the population. These questions can be asked by a non-skilled worker also, or a ASHA worker at PHC say. So first question, what they will be asking is, do you feel unsteady while standing or walking? Okay, if person is saying yes to the question, we will be mark here as yes. Okay, so are you suffering from any physical disability that restricts your movement? If yes, then we'll mark it again. Okay, so do you need help from others to perform everyday activities such as eating, getting dressed, grooming, bathing, walking, or using toilet? So these are basic activities. If they need specific support for this, then yes. So do you forget names of your near ones or your own home address? Yes. Okay. So if a yes in all any of the questions or all of the questions, this person should be referred to the experts in geriatric health care. So what happens next? So identifies any elderly person in need of comprehensive assessment if the answer to any question in this part B3 is yes. Okay, so then what happens? Preliminary assessment using section 1 and 2 of the comprehensive geriatric assessment on this identified elderly individuals. Okay, so as they are identified, if they are saying yes to any questions, then they are identified for the further investigation. So that is comprehensive geriatric assessment should be done. So assessing using the sections. So this sections will be coming in next slides. So there are sections of this geriatric assessment. So if required, section 5 of the CJ and required test for the further assessment. So there are sections that we are talking now. So section 1. Section 1 is about basic details, that is registration details, identification data of elderly person. That means the demographic data. Next will be the section 2 is the history taking. So what we have here, we have pointers for history. So firstly, that is chief complaint of the patient. What is the most important thing? What is the case thing they are bothered of? That is chief complaint. Okay. Next is details of the complaint. So if they are saying any chief complaint or something, details of that complaint. Next is the past medical history. If they have any current medical history or past medical history, they are going through any metabolic disease, etc., that should be recorded over here. Next is drug history. So this is important in the geriatric population as they have multiple complaints. So maybe they will be having multiple uh, drugs or they are having polypharmacy. What I mean by polypharmacy is they're taking many medications at same point of time. So that is drug history is very important in the geriatric population. Next is consumption of addictive substances. So maybe they are having some addictions or something. So that we have to record in the history taking itself. Next is the nutritional history. So what type of diet they are having, that should be recorded over here. Next is the family history. Is there any family history for any condition or something that should be recorded over here. Next is the social spiritual history. So what kind of social things is there or any how what kind of society they are a part of, what kind of spiritual practices they are doing, etc. Next is the personal history of the patient, habits, what are their requirements, what are their goals, etc. Home safety environment is again important because many times patients have fall at their home, so that's why home safety environment is very, very essential over here. Next is the section 3, that is 10-minute comprehensive screening. So what is section 3 is we have basic details, we have history, and now we are looking for the screening. So here we have screening for the geriatric syndrome, screening for other age-related problems, and functional assessment is there in this section 3. That is the comprehensive assessment. 10 minutes, we can, within 10 minutes, we can assess this. Next is a physical examination. So general examination and systemic examination. General examination is overall examination of the patient, and systemic examination means we are examining the specific system. Like we are examining about the nervous system, we are examining the musculoskeletal system, we are examining the respiratory system, cardiovascular system. That is a systemic examination. Next, section 5 is talking about systemic specific toolkit, symptomic specific toolkit for assessment of the problem identified in the section 3. So whatever screening we have done in section 3 in this patients, we are having specific examination. So if memory loss is there, screening for cognitive impairment, screening for depression, fall risk evaluation, incontinence assessment and management guide, etc. This is done in the section 5. Next is the report. So section 6 talks about the report of this overall examination. So comprehensive geriatric assessment toolkit section 1, it is about registration details, the date of first assessment, name, designation and contact details of the assessor, identification data of the elderly person. So next is about the past history. So this is part of the history taking, the past history. Here, duration of illness, current medication with the dosage, verified through records including completion of treatment. Then drug history, current medication history, including over-the-counter medications history, drug side effects, medication other than the allopathy. Means they may have practice of using Ayurvedic or some herbs, etc. treatment, that can also be noted over here. Then consumption of addictive substances, type, duration, and extent of addictions by updating the quantity consumed on the daily, weekly, or monthly basis, and duration since last consumption. Means how we assess the pack year, or like eating, if they are smoking cigarettes, then how many cigarettes per day. This history. Next is a consumption nutritional history. Here, decline in food intake and weight loss over the past 3 months, mobility, then psychological stress, neurological problems, BMI, calf circumference, which are to be categorized as malnourished, risk for malnourishment, and normal nutritional status. Next is about the family history. So, detail of illness that the family members are undertaking treatment should be recorded over here. Social and spiritual assessment, social demographic and spiritual details, including type of house, place of worship, and information regarding the meditation. Then personal history, habits, frequency of exercise, caregiver fatigue details. So in personal history, we are asking about the physical activity level, or what they are doing throughout the day. Next is the home safety environment. This includes trouble with the lighting or stairs inside and outside the house, condition of bathroom floor, ramp at the home, or adult using a wheelchair or walking aid, handrails in staircase and bathroom, and the provision of caregiver at the home. Section 3. Now we are talking about the Section 3. Section 3 is the screening for geriatric syndrome. An elderly undergoes screening for depression, risk of fall, urinary incontinence, and the memory recall. Next, it does screen for other age-related problems. So, the medical officer or CHO undertakes the screening with respect to vision, hearing, change in weight, constipation, and insomnia. Functional assessment, and elderly will be assessed based on the assessment tool on activities of daily living and categorizing into dependent and independent patients. So here we have this Section 3, 10-minute comprehensive screening, screening for geriatric syndrome. So here memory, depression. If you have, if yes to the question, process to the depression management toolkit at Section 5C. So objective name, are you often sad or depressed? Yes or no? Next is the fall. If to the first question, and not able to walk around chair, if in study, proceed to fall risk assessment tool at the 5. So if this question is yes, fall risk assessment questionnaire to be solved. So whatever is there here in section 3, if yes to the question, then we will be going to section 5 for further assessment. So fallen more than twice in a last 1 year. Yes, then this patient should be assessed in the section 5 also. So urinary incontinence. Again, patient can be asked about able to walk around chair, check if unsteady. Okay, yes or no. If yes, then false assessment should be done. Then urinary incontinence. Similarly, if lost urine got wet in the past 1 year or week, if they are saying yes to the question, then they are referred to the section 5 of the geriatric assessment. Next is memory recall. If Minicox score is to be noted, if they are having one object, two object, three object, or none, then again they should be referred to the section 5. Screening for other age related problems. So what are the other age related problems? Is a vision. As do you have, if yes, then test vision difficulty, reading using Snell's chart, or doing any finger counting, or daily activities, because your eyesight, even with the wearing glasses. If right eye and left eye both should be checked. If visual impairment present, refer to medical officer or specialist for further assessment. Again, for hearing, right and left ear, if hearing impairment is there, refer to the medical practitioner ENT. That and speaks of test, stand behind the patient and just normally you have to speak. and speak slowly, softly, and then in normal voice 619 and check for hearing. Softly, you have to just say 1619. If they are not able to hear, then this is the patient is having some hearing difficulty. Have you noticed a change in your weight over the past 6 months? If patient is saying yes or no, if yes, what kgs or how much is increased or how much is decreased, that should be noted. Then constipation, yes or no. If it is there, we have to refer them. If insomnia is there or not. Okay, so these questions we have to ask. This is the screening only. Okay, so next is about the comprehensive geriatric assessment, functional assessment. So quality of life of the elderly, our ability in evaluating activity of daily living performance. ADLs refer to activities oriented towards taking care of one's own body. So that is activity of daily living means um, activities like bathing, etc. Okay, so these activities are fundamental to living in social world. They are enable basic survival and well-being, such as bathing, toileting, dressing, eating. So these are the very basic activities that patient should be doing independent. Person should be doing independently. Okay, so score 6 is the highest. So patient is independent. Score 0 means low. Patient is very dependent. All these activities are controlled by the other person. So that is main assessment. Or patients may many time patients are complaining about this only. They are not independent in the activities of daily living. They have to rely on others for such a basic activities, and that bothers them a lot. So we are here to assist these things, and if it is there, we are giving some treatments for them to give some assistance and how to improve the condition. Okay, so next part we will be seeing about the section C in the next lecture of our physio TV comprehensive geriatric assessment. um, I would like to thank Dr. Parag Sancheti sir, Mrs. Manisha Sangvi ma'am, and Dr. Radha Bhattad ma'am for giving me this opportunity, and not the least, the team of Physio TV for supporting and giving some technical support for this lecture. Thank you.